After I came out of my teen years, I had a few traumatic relationships. I was very lost. I didn't know who I was as a person. I had no morals, had no ambitions. One day I just clicked and I was like, I don't like my life. I really need change and I need to put myself first and really do something about it. And then when I decided to compete, that was it. I was all in, really committed to myself for so long. I've grown so much as a person, mentally, physically. That's probably my reason why I will continue, because of the growth and the commitment you make to yourself.
Welcome back to the Conch Closet podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Sarah Moore, and today I'm chatting with the amazing Elisa Howie, who just competed in her first ever FMG show. Elisa, how are
I'm good,
you?
thank you. Thanks for asking. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you on. So, when did you get started in fitness and what led you to compete in your first FMG show?
So it's kind of like a long story, but I'll kind of keep it short. So I was very sporty when I was younger. So when I was younger, I did everything you can think of, but my main thing was I was like a state sprinter. So I started off as a runner, and then in my teen years, I kind of like fell out of that as I got older. And then I started in the gym. Obviously, I was like such a like newbie. I had no idea what I was doing. And then I started getting like really into it when I was 18. And that's when I started counting like my macros and everything. And then I moved back to Sydney and then I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do a show. I'm going to commit to myself for, a year and see what I can do. And I did it.
Amazing. So, how old are you now, if you don't mind me
I'm
asking?
21 now. So I'm
Oh,
still a little
awesome.
baby.
And yeah, what made you choose FMG?
um, I think because obviously, like, you see a lot of like FMG on like social media and the glitz and the glam, and I like how you can kind of show your personality a lot more than the other like federations that there are. And obviously I thought as well, like, if I'm gonna can like do bodybuilding, like I want to go full out. I want to go the glitz and the glam, and I want to show who I am. So that's why I picked FMG.
Yes, I love that about FMG as well. Like it's so original and you can really kind of show your personality through your bikini and your posing and everything, which is super cool.
Yeah, it's super.
So, had you seen anyone else compete? Like, did you see someone on Instagram or did you know someone who had competed?
I didn't know anyone. No, not like when I was younger, but I remember when I first moved to Sydney, I was going to like this little gym and then I met this girl and she was actually in her build and she was in like a 2-year build and she was like, just do it. Like, you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. But she's like, just bite the bullet and go for it. And then I decided to do it. So I got with my first coach and then I actually went with her coach. So I kind of like decided to, after she told me to do it, I was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to do it. And then I chose to go with Rob after that.
And so, how long was your prep?
I think I was in like a 6 to 8 month build and then I did a 6 month prep.
So, was that Rob's suggestion to go into a build first, or did you kind of have a plan for
No,
yourself?
so when I first like decided to compete, I was actually with Mickey Parker and I did my build with her. And then I think like the last month of my build, I was like, oh, I feel like I'm just going to change coaches. So then that's when I went with Rob. And yeah, it was the best decision I probably ever made.
Yeah, cool. And what was prep like for you? Like, tell me everything, kind of how you felt and what the hard parts were, what you loved about it.
I would say I had a pretty good prep. I compared to like some girls that I spoke to, I would say I kind of flowed through it. I would say at the start it was a little bit bumpy. Obviously, when first going into it, you don't really know what to expect. But I say my hardest part would be the hormonal changes. Because I lost my cycle and stuff, and then my body was like just all out of whack, and then that was like really hard with the water retention and the way you like look at your body and stuff. So I think that was like the hardest part for me. But after I got over that, honestly, like I like flowed through prep. Like it was really good, and like I didn't struggle with my hunger as much as other girls did because I know like that's a big thing. But yeah, I honestly think I had a really good prep. I just the hormonal changes would be hard, and then obviously the sacrifices you have to make as well. Like that's a big thing, but I mean, if you have a goal, then you kind of got to make the big sacrifices to get there.
Yeah, exactly. And you mentioned obviously hormonal changes and like looking a bit more watery and things like that. How did you kind of overcome that? Like, what was your mindset around it?
Um, But when I'm always really open with like Rob, so like I communicate with Rob like nearly every day, still to this day. Like every day he's hearing from me about something. So I was just always talking to him about how I was feeling, and I'm always really open with everybody else around me as well. So I guess just talking about it, getting my thoughts out of my head, and just getting like other people's opinions, because like I feel like you're your own worst enemy. Like I look at myself one way, but you know, you may not look at me that way. So that was one big thing that really helped me. And then another thing was I just had to keep reminding myself that like this is just a phase. I need to trust the process, and you know, like I'm putting so much stress onto my body, and obviously like this is all part of the process to get to the stage. So that was a big thing for me. But I think just reminding myself that, you know, everyone, there's lots of girls probably go through the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, just trusting your coach is so important. Like if you can trust them and just, have that voice and be able to be honest with them and listen to their opinion rather than your own internal voices, which go a little bit crazy on prep, then you'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, 100%.
And what was the biggest challenge for you throughout this whole journey?
I'd probably say like my reverse. it's it's only been like a week, but I've been struggling with my reverse, and again I've been really open about it on my social media, the people around me, and and with obviously Rob as well, that's a bit hard. Sometimes you don't really want to be honest with your coach, but you do. So I'll definitely say the reverse. Like that is like I didn't think it would be this hard, to be honest. It definitely hit me pretty tough, I guess. But again,
Yeah.
it's part of the journey.
Yeah, exactly. And what is it with your reverse that you're struggling with the most?
I would say the binge eating, like the hunger, it's intense. I don't like, I think maybe that's what's so bad. Like, I don't mind about the weight, like putting on extra weight. Like the scales don't, like, that's not bothering me at the moment. I think I just feel so guilty for the overeating. And it's like, you don't even know you're doing it sometimes until you like, what you like, you click 1 second and you're like, oh God, what am I doing? And then it's too late. So, yeah, like that, I would say is the worst.
Yeah, and I think that's so common with competitors as well. Like you hear the reverse diet's going to be hard, and then you don't realize how hard it actually is. Like your hunger cues and your hunger hormones and all of that is just so out of balance for, I would say, almost like 4 to 6 weeks after the show.
Mhm,
And it's just so hard to kind of rein that in, I guess. Like you're so hungry all the time, and you kind of have the freedom that you can have a bit more food because you haven't got the stage goal. So it is a really tough time.
mm.
What are you doing? Like, what are you working on with your coach in order to overcome the issues that you're having in your reverse?
Honestly, we're just trying to get me back into a routine. Obviously, after comp, I took some time off work, so I wasn't in my work routine. I was sleeping in, like not doing, getting my early morning walks in. So my whole routine is just like out the window. So I'm trying to get back into my prep routine, somewhat, anyways. Um, that's probably like the main because I'm a very routine driven person. Like if I have a good routine, then like I'm on top of the world. But if like one thing's out, then like I'm down the bottom. So just trying to, I wrote down like a list of Rob told me to do this. I wrote down a list of like my routine and what I was doing before comp, and then I wrote what I'm doing now and like compare them and eliminate the things that, you know, aren't necessarily good for me and that are impacting me in a negative way. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do is just fix my routine, but that's very hard when you're in kind of like a slump.
Yeah, exactly. And are there certain things in your routine that you feel like do make you happier and they kind of make you feel more normal, I guess?
Um, I yeah, sorta. Like I know that if I wake up early instead of sleeping in, like that's gonna make me feel better, or going for a walk, whether it's in the morning or afternoon, like that makes me feel better, and obviously that gets my steps in as well. Um, but yeah, they're probably like the big things, is just like waking up early and getting my obviously my workout in, and I'm definitely a morning. I like working out in the morning, where if I work out in the afternoon, it's like, oh, it's effort, you're tired. So I guess like just trying to schedule my day out properly so that I do get everything done in the correct order that I would normally do. But I wouldn't say that my routine is normal for an everyday person. Definitely not.
Yeah. I love the idea of writing things down though and scheduling them out. Like personally, that's what I always do during prep and then going into a reverse diet as well. I try to schedule out things, with a little bit more leniency,
Mm.
but just having some kind of structured routine, like you said, just makes everything so much easier. So I hope you can, work to get back to that, and I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I honestly feel like the reverse, like diet phase of competing is like not spoken about enough. And I feel like I've been thinking about it, and I spoke to my coach, and I've been speaking to other like competitors as well. And it's like you feel so guilty and you feel so alone because it's not spoken about enough and it's not like normalized, I would say. So, yeah, I feel like that is like a big thing. So coming out and like talking on social media and everything is something that I'm trying to do to let other competitors and people know that they're not alone, and that, yeah, we're all in this together.
Yes, exactly. And I think keeping that support network as well, like the group chats and things that a lot of girls are in leading up to the show, and just keeping communication with, some of the girls that went through the show and the same prep as well is so important because, like you said, you do all go through, different journeys but similar struggles in terms of reversing. Like, I don't think I know a single person who can just do an absolutely perfect reverse. Like, that would not be normal.
God, if there is anybody, please message me. I need some tips.
Yeah. So going back to like peak week and show day, can you tell me a little bit about what you got up to on peak week?
Okay, I had a really big peak week, to be honest. I think I definitely overbooked myself. So I finished work on the Sunday. So like Sunday the week and Monday was peak week. Monday, Tuesday, just had like chill days at home, packed my comp bag and my suitcase for all my photo shoots and everything. And then on Wednesday, I went and got my hair and makeup done. Went and did a photo shoot with Alex Muscat. Amazing. He slayed. Honestly, best experience ever. It was so good. So much fun. And after that, I checked into my hotel and then just chilled that afternoon. Had check in with Rob. Thursday, went and got my hair and makeup done again, and then I had a team shoot with Rob and the team. That was really fun, and like first time meeting all the girls and stuff as well. So it was just a good experience. And then we did, what did we do Thursday? And then after that we did the base coat tan, and that's always fun. And then Friday I had another photo shoot. So again, hair and makeup. Um, and I did a photo shoot with Sean. Again, amazing. I feel like they're both such good photographers, so it was a very good experience. And then
They're both incredible.
yeah, they are. I can't wait to get my photos back. They're intense. And then Saturday was show day. So throughout the week, I was doing daily check ins with Rob. And I think I did that maybe like 10 days out from comp. And then obviously still doing my steps and my workouts throughout the week, fitting all that in with all the photo shoots and stuff as well.
That sounds like a massive week.
Yeah.
Is there anything?
I definitely
Looking back, is there anything you'd do
Yeah,
differently?
I definitely don't think I would book so many photo shoots again. I'd probably book maybe like one, and then if I'm always like I'm with Rob, so we do a team shoot. So then I have that as well. But definitely don't think I'm going to be doing the three in like all separate days. I'd probably do like two in the one day. But other than that, I think I
Yeah.
had a pretty good like peak week. Like I was in a hotel by myself from the Wednesday to Sunday, just chilling. And I was like to my friends and roommates, I was like, no one is staying with me. Like I need this time to myself. So
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's a really good tip for first time competitors because I did the exact same thing for my first show. I was so excited and I booked so many photo shoots and they're all like on different days. I think I had like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday photo shoots. And then I was doing like workshops and all these different things on top of, like you said, training. And then you've got your meal prep
yeah,
and it's actually a
yeah.
lot. So I think just scheduling downtime is so important on peak
Yeah,
week.
especially with Rob, like he does, so we do daily check-ins and then our food like check can change every day. So like depending on what your protocols are with your coach, like you could be like meal prepping for that day, like for the whole peak week. So and then trying to do your meal prep on top of everything else, like it's just insane. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a
I
lot.
definitely won't be doing that again.
It's very exciting. Like it's good definitely to make the most of it and fit things in. But I think what I would probably recommend and what I'd be doing in the future as well is shooting either on the Friday, so you get your hair and makeup done, and then you do your shoot, and then you go to Red Joe night, so you only get your hair and makeup done once. So one, you save money, and two, you've got more free days kind of leading up to the show as well. Or I'd probably shoot the day after the show.
Yeah, I actually totally forgot to mention media night on the Friday. So I think after
Yeah.
Sean, I had like an hour to get back to my hotel, and then I have to go to media night, and then you're there all night, and it's like, oh, I'm so tired. You gotta get up early the next day for show day.
So, speaking of show day, can you walk us through exactly what happened, like from when you woke up until when you went to bed? So, if a first time competitor's listening, they can kind of know what to expect.
Oh, okay. So I was really, I don't know what my body clock was doing, but I woke up very early. I woke up at 3 a.m. and I didn't bother trying to go back to sleep. So it was a 3 a.m. wake up. Um, After that, I straight away did my check-in with Rob, and then I had my breakfast. I basically just had the egg whites and corn thins with peanut butter, nothing exciting. And then after that, I just really needed like some downtime. So I'm a knitter, so I sat on the lounge and watched my show, did some knitting to try and calm the nerves. And then one of my good friends actually wrote me a letter to read the morning of my comp. So I sat down on the lounge with my cuppa and read my letter. Made me cry. That was,
I love that.
yeah. And then after that, decided to get ready. I packed everything because I didn't want to like leave and then have to go back to my hotel. So I packed everything up and then I went to the ICC to get my tan on. And then after my tan, I did my hair and makeup. Honestly, that it took longer than I expected it would. I would think I was getting like my hair, my makeup, and tan, and I was there for probably about like 2.5, 3 hours. So that was definitely longer than I expected. So I'm really lucky that I took everything there with me to save me my
Mm.
hotel. And then after I did my hair and makeup and my tan, I found backstage and then I got dressed in my bikini, set up, where you're gonna lay down and stuff, hung out with the girls for a bit, and then I went and did a rehearsal run on the stage, which is so good. Definitely helps you figure out like your nerves and everything like that. Obviously, you're like there's other girls there as well, so you're all kind of on the stage trying to pose. So that's definitely something I would recommend for the first timers, is to get out and 100% stay on that stage and do your rehearsal for as long as you can. Um, so the rehearsals finished at 9:30, and then after that we headed backstage and just hung out, to be honest. No one really knew what to do. We're all just there chatting. taking photos, get as many photos as we could. And then that's when the day kind of started, the show started, and it went really quick. Like they were going through the show like crazy. Like it was so quick. Morning show was done like within a few hours. After morning show, um, some girls were, what are they doing? Oh, they were like eating snacks and stuff like that as well. But I don't think I did. I can't remember what I was doing, to be honest. Um, and then night show came around. But before night show, I think I went back home or went back to the hotel and just chilled out. I think I had like 2 hours before the night show started, so I just went back, chilled. I think I fixed up my hair and my makeup. By the time you do that, you have to go back. So I went back, and then the night show started. Um, Before we go on stage, I have pre-workout and lollies, which is like a big treat. So we just pumped up, took all the lollies and pre-workout, went on stage, and then I feel like when you go out on the like night show, you're so much more confident. But I'm still so nervous. Like I was really nervous. I remember I was standing backstage and I was literally like, I was shaking. So I was just standing there trying to do my breathing techniques that everybody tells you to do. And then I went out on stage, and I think I was so nervous that I don't even remember what I did, but whatever I did, it was not my routine. I remember getting backstage, I messaged Rob, and I was like, I have no idea what that was, but that was not my routine. So,
Well, it looked great in the audience. I was watching, and you would have had no idea that it wasn't like a choreographed routine. So you did really well.
thank you, thank you. And then after the night show, I really just like it went pretty later than I expected. I was expecting it to finish around like 8 p.m., but we didn't get out of there until like 9, I think it was. And then after
Mhm.
that, I just went back to my hotel, got dressed, went out for Italian with the family, had a big pig out, and then went back to the hotel, had another cuppa, did some more knitting, and then went to bed. Woke up, went out for breakfast.
Amazing. So that is a massive day. And you obviously mentioned being a bit nervous, which is so normal for your first time on stage. And I still got nervous for my second and third times on stage as
Oh,
well. How do you handle your nerves?
I think I was pretty well prepared. Like I knew I was going to be nervous. So when we were backstage with all the girls and we're just in our bikinis, like laying, taking photos and stuff, I actually had AirPods in, and I was just like listening to like hyped up music, and I was actually dancing in the back by myself, and everyone was just like, oh, what is she doing? Just dancing and singing. And then before, obviously, when they call you, you go pump up and stuff as well. So when I was pumping up, I was kind of just in my own lane, just really focusing and trying not to like overthink, to be honest. Before going on stage, I think I was just standing there with my hands like interlocked, and I was just breathing, and I just kept practicing my routine just in my own lane. I wasn't talking to anybody. So I think that's how I calmed my nerves down. But obviously, it was still really nerve-wracking. It doesn't work wonders. But yeah, especially like I was backstage and like I could feel my knees like buckling, and I was like, oh my God, how am I going to go out there and, do my routine? But as soon as your name gets called, honestly, you're like, you strut your stuff, and then you don't even, you totally forget that you were just really nervous 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think like as long as you're prepared and you've practiced your posing enough, then you're going to be absolutely fine. Like everyone gets nervous. Most people that I know are like super nervous, including myself. But like you said, as soon as your name gets called and you actually walk out there and start posing, you're absolutely fine. It's those moments like when you're waiting backstage to go on and you can kind of see the audience, but you're not on the stage yet. I think that's the most nerve-wracking. But
Oh,
once you get on there, it's absolutely fine.
yeah, it is. Yeah, I feel like once you get out there, it's good, especially like after you've already done your tea walk and you just kind of like standing at the back waiting for comparisons, like you're fine. I think
Yeah,
nerve-wracking
exactly.
though, especially like for first timers, you don't know what to expect. And then I was very like I've never felt ready with my posing. So I was like on the stage overthinking about my posing. But yeah, it was very intense, but it was fun.
Did you love it once you got on stage? Like once you got over the initial nerves?
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's like I had on my like when I was looking out to the crowd on the left side, I could see my posing coach, and then on my right side, I could see my actual coach. And I was like, I don't know where to look. And then I could like, I think hearing them like they were kind of like talking, like yelling out to me and stuff like that helped calm my nerves down as well. But yeah, I loved it. It was the best experience, and I honestly can't wait to get back out there.
Amazing. And what was the vibe like backstage? Was everyone friendly? Like, what did you kind of get up to?
Yeah, backstage everybody's like so nice. They're all it's like we're just like a big like family, to be honest. Like if you needed help or have any questions, you could just go up and ask a random person and they'd be happy to help. Like there's no like if muts or baby like maybes. Like they're so helpful and considerate, which is nice. And like if you're really nervous or anything, like just talk. Like I remember one of the girls was she was saying to me like, "You're gonna be okay. Like just breathe and just smile." And then yeah, so everyone's really friendly. All the like you get the pros out there. All the pros are really friendly. Like everyone's happy to help. I think someone's shoes actually got broken and that we were going around like trying to find a pair of shoes that would fit her, and someone gave up her shoes so she could go out on stage, which like yeah, that's really nice for people to do. So it's just a
Yeah,
community.
amazing.
Yeah.
And were you happy with how you performed on stage?
um Oh, look, I am very happy with my performance and with what I brought to stage for my first time. But I do know there are a few things that need to improve on. And obviously, like, there's always going to be things that you're going to need to improve on. So, yeah, I am happy for my first time, but there are definitely improvements that I need to make.
Yeah, for sure. Which it'll always be like that in the sport. And I think that's the cool thing about it too, is there's always kind of a progression and improvements to make.
Yeah, 100%.
How has the transition out of prep been for you? Obviously, you mentioned some of your struggles with reversing. Is it kind of what you expected?
Um, like obviously, like I've said, I don't think it's spoken about enough. So it's not what I expected. Like I knew it would be hard from what people tell you, but I didn't think it would be this hard. I actually think the post comp is harder than the actual prep itself. Um, I felt like I kind of flowed through prep, so I was like, yeah, surely I'll be okay, um, like post comp. But no, it's been a hard transition, and I think obviously like having my coach there has been really helpful. But now, you have a week of like of fun or whatever, how many days until your coach says to you like kicks you into gear, and you're like, no, they're like, no, come on, like you really need to step it up. So now, like, I'm at that step it up stage. And he's like, come on, Alyssa, like, you really need to, like, get out of your little fairyland. So I think just, yeah, like I said, I just need to get back into my routine.
Yeah. And have you set any new goals in terms of competing or any different goals?
Yeah, I have. So I really want to study my PT nutrition. I would really wanted to do that after this comp, but now my coach and I are in talks of my next comp. So now I'm like, oh, I don't know whether I should do it before or after. Anyways, um, so yeah, I really want to study that, and then I wasn't going to compete after my last one. I was going to have a little break, but we're obviously, like I said, we're in the talks of my next competition, which is really exciting. It just depends on how I go with my reverse.
That is very exciting. And what were the improvements that you talked about with your coach? Like, what are you working on improving for your next show?
Um, so going into my last show, we didn't know whether I would fit more into bikini or athletic. But after the show that I just competed in, we have figured out obviously I'm more athletic now. So coming into my next show, obviously I want to be a little bit more conditioned. So I'm going to do a little, like a mini bulk, and then do a hard cut. And then I really want to focus on posing more. I felt like I didn't pose enough, and I feel like I should have been posing like every day for 6 months. um, so posing's like one thing that I feel like you will always feel like you're not ready with. So I just really want to be really confident with my posing and have really good flow, and I need to focus on my core control because that is really hard.
Posing
Yeah.
is so hard. It's probably, after reverse dieting, it's probably the second hardest thing about competing, I would
Oh
say.
yeah, I think I would agree. Everything else is easy, but the posing and the reverse dieting.
How early did you start posing before the show?
I started posing in December, and then the show's April.
So still quite a few months.
Yeah, I see. I still had like a couple of months, but I still didn't feel ready, even though like I did a lot of one-on-one sessions, and then I did a few group group classes you can do. But if I don't think I practiced alone, like on my by myself enough. I think I was practicing maybe like once a week for like 20 minutes to an hour. And then 3 weeks out from show, I was posing every day for like 15 minutes. But I wish I was posing every day for maybe like 2 months. I would probably feel a lot more confident then.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to kind of get into your routine as well, because most people before they start prep, like they're already kind of tracking macros or on a meal plan, and they're already training and they already have a step count, and you're just increasing those, and then you're adding posing on top of that, which is something completely new, and it's actually really hard, I feel, to fit into your routine.
I found that doing it like first thing in the morning, like it could be freezing cold, but first thing in the morning, as soon as you get out of bed, that was like the best time I found that it fit well with my schedule. And then obviously if you have like daily check-ins and stuff, you're in your heels and stuff for your check-ins. So so, so just doing my posing straight after that was so much easier than trying to fit it in the afternoon after work or something.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like just doing it first thing. Like I leave my heels out, so I wake up and I see my heels there, and I tell myself, okay, I'm just going to do 10 minutes. And if that's all the time I have, then that's fine. But normally you end up doing more than 10 minutes anyways, or sometimes like you might chuck your heels back on in the afternoon or something if you have time. But at least just like getting in a little bit in the morning is so
Yeah,
helpful.
that's actually another good tip, like for the people that struggle to like get out of bed or to go to the gym in the mornings, leave your stuff laying out on the side. So but when you get out of bed, you've already picked it, it's all laying there. So all you're gonna do is just get dressed and get there. That's what I do, and it's so good.
Yeah,
I actually did
yeah, me too. I've even heard of some people like sleeping in their gym gear if it's too cold.
that. Really? I've never heard of anyone doing that.
I haven't tried that one myself, but if I have to one day.
I've never heard anyone doing that before. That's like
So reflecting on your whole like prep experience and your reverse so far, what's your number one piece of advice for someone competing for the first time?
I would say trust the process and know that whatever struggles you're going through is just a phase. That would be
Love
my
that.
big thing. Yeah. That's what I told myself most of my prep. Yeah. And then I feel like when other people speak to me about, competing and they say they want to compete, I always say to them, know your reason why, because like your reason why is what's going to get you through the hard times. So your reason why like has to be like so extreme to get you there.
Yeah, exactly. And what's your reason why?
Uh, um, look, I would say after I came out of like my teen years, I had very like a few traumatic relationships. I was very lost. I didn't know who I was as a person. Um, I had like no like morals, had no ambitions. And then I think one day I just like clicked and I was like, I don't like my life. I really need change and I need to put myself first and really do something about it. And then when I decided to compete, that was it, really. I was all in. Um, and obviously, competing is selfish. Like, it's you all the time, and you got to sacrifice so much. So, yeah, I was really committed to myself for so long. And now, like, even Rob would say now, like, I've grown so much as a person, mentally, physically. And yeah, that's probably my reason why I will continue because of the growth and the commitment you make to yourself.
Yeah, I love that. And do you feel like you've grown because you made this commitment to prep and competing?
Yeah, I would say like 100%. I feel like because before competing, I didn't love myself as a person and I didn't really want change or I didn't really like look for change. And then I think when I started going into prep and like wanting to compete, it was like I had that end goal of like I want to get on stage. So I was putting myself first every day and just being proud of who I was becoming and growing into.
Yeah, amazing. And I feel like you build so much trust with yourself as well because you're setting yourself all these little promises every day. You have to tick all these boxes given to you by your coach. And every time you achieve that and push through the hard days, you really do build that trust with yourself, which is super
Yeah,
cool.
100%. And you build so much discipline. Yeah. So, yeah, it is very rewarding, not just getting on stage, but just the growth and the actual journey itself is really rewarding.
Yeah, exactly. And is there anything looking back that you would have done differently?
Um, no, I don't think so. I think I did an amazing job for my first prep journey and like I did give it my all. So I don't think I would change one thing because I've loved the outcome.
Amazing. I'm so happy to hear
No,
that.
thank you.
So, what are your plans moving forward in the sport? You obviously mentioned that you do want to compete again, but do you have like an overall goal or are you just kind of taking it step by step?
Um, so I do have an overall goal. Like I want to compete in the October or December show. Um, it just depends on how I go with my reverse. Rob, my coach, is wanting for me to do the October show, but I'm just scared I'm not going to be ready. Especially with how hard this reverse dieting has hit me. So I'm just like taking it day by day at the moment. Um, but yeah, like I said, my goal, like before comp, I did want to have a year's break and do a build. But after you get that little itch of like being on stage, you can't wait too much longer. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little build for 10 weeks, see what I look like, if I'm going to have enough like muscle mass or whatnot, just because like I do want to go in athletic, and then we'll decide which comp I'll do.
Exciting. Well, I can't wait to see what you end up doing, and I'll be following your reverse process as well because I love it. I see people that are kind of open and honest about the whole journey.
Yeah, I do need to do a little update. But thank you so much for supporting me. I really appreciate it.
No worries. So we do have a few questions from the question
Oh,
box, which you wouldn't have seen yet, but we'll just run through a few of those. First one is, how is your relationship with food and socializing post comp?
oh, um, this is a hard question. Post comp, like my relationship, I don't know how I'd say my relationship with food is because I am struggling a lot throughout my reverse. I wouldn't say it's bad. Like I've been eating a lot of more whole foods, I would say. I've been trying to focus on eating like more salads instead of, having popcorn all the time. So there's that. But obviously, like when you get the binge urge, you kind of just binge without even thinking about it. So that part is really hard. So I don't really know whether to say my relationship with food is good or bad because I am kind of struggling with my binge eating. But the socializing part, I've gone out a few times. I think I've gone out maybe like 2 or 3 times. I'll go and get a coffee. But obviously, when you're out, you get really excited and then you probably order a little bit too much. So I think it's just trying to do it in moderation now, and not getting excited about the food, but getting excited that you get to go out and socialize. Um, but yeah, that's why I would say just do it in moderation.
Yeah, cool. And what was your favorite part about competing?
I think my favorite part would be seeing like your friends, like because you meet so many friends throughout comp, so seeing them in their bikinis for the first time, I feel like that is such an exciting moment. And obviously, when my friends and family seen me on stage or in my bikini for the first time as well, like it's such a special moment because they know how hard you've worked for it. So yeah, that's probably my favorite moment.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. And I think it's just knowing there definitely are going to be things that you're sacrificing on prep. Like you have to
Yeah,
sacrifice a lot. And like you said, you can still go to events, but you might be going to a lunch and just having a Diet Coke or a water and bringing your own food. It's not going to be like you're going out and having food or you're going out drinking or anything like
yeah.
that. So life's going to look pretty different if you're doing some of that stuff
I
regularly.
sacrificed a lot. Like, obviously, if you do the April show, you're missing out on Christmas, you're missing out on Easter, you're missing out on New Year's. And I also sacrificed my like best friend's engagement party. Like, I didn't even go. So there's like so much you have to sacrifice for this like one day. But I mean, that's why I said make sure your reasoning why is worth it.
Yeah, exactly. And if you have that strong why as well, then it's all going to be worth it as well. Like that journey is just incredible, and show day is
Yeah,
insane too.
100%. I couldn't agree more.
So where can people find you to follow your journey?
They can find me on Instagram mostly. That's probably where I post most of my journey. So I think my Instagram name is underscore e sway SWAY with an extra Y.
Awesome. And I'll link it down below as well when I post the podcast so that people can see that. Thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for being so honest about your struggles with reverse dieting too. I think that will help so many competitors. So
No
yeah, thank
worries.
you.
Thank you so much for having me.